Hi everyone, just sharing another quick Christmas tutorial, something that you can make quite easily. If you need a few more baubles for your Christmas tree, then this is the project for you. And here's one that's made with those lovely poinsettia flowers, but you could easily make them using snowflakes or other Christmas embellishments. So whilst you watch me putting together the poinsettias, it's always tricky to say that word, that I'm going to use to decorate the sides of the bauble that I'm going to show you, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the actual bauble themselves. So you can make them in any colour you like, so you pick a colour of cardstock or a Christmas patterned cardstock that matches your Christmas decorations, and then you need to decide what you're going to put on each of the sides. This time I'm going to be making these poinsettias, as I've said, but I've also used snowflakes, as you'll see, for the decorations that actually match the Christmas tree that I have in my front room, and I'll show you those at the end. So mainly what I'm asking you to do is to make 6 embellishments, whatever it is you choose, to put on the 6 sides of your final paper bauble. They need to be smaller or just slightly smaller than 2 inches in diameter, because they need to fit in the little 2-inch square that you will see that we use to put the bauble itself together. So I'm layering up some poinsettias that I cut out using my Cricut, and I've been inking the edges of the papers because they've got a white core, and then I'm just layering them up. As you can see, I'm using pin flare because I think once the silicone glue is dry it makes them quite sturdy, and we're going to be hopefully using these decorations for many years to come. And I think hot glue tends to dry out and become a little bit brittle, so that's why I'm using pin flare, and you might want to think about that when you're putting your decorations together. And then I did think that I might add these little glass beads into the centre of the poinsettias, but I didn't think they really stood out quite enough, so I once I've had a little look, I decide to go with some pearls instead. Whatever you decide to make, you put together 6 little embellishments that you're going to use on the sides of your paper bauble, and put them to one side to dry while you make the bauble itself. Next, you need to cut yourself with either a punch or some kind of cutting system 6 3-inch circles from some cardstock that matches your Christmas decorations, and then you need to ink the edges of those circles ready to put this together. Now, a 3-inch circle takes a 2-inch square, so I've just cut a 2-inch square from some scrap card, and then I'm going to use that as my template to score the lines to help us put this, or to construct this bauble. So hold your template in place, and then using a fine ball tool just create a score line down each of the sides of the square, and you can see that we're going to be using these to join these little Christmas baubles together. So using your template as a guide, you're going to score a square into each of your circles, and then you're going to fold along the score lines, and this in effect creates 4 little tabs. Make sure that you score them well, because that helps with the overall finish of the bauble. And just for an added bit of interest, I'm going to fold those flaps to the underside and just ink around the square, and that'll just give you a little bit of definition on each of the sides of your bauble. So I'm going to repeat that for each of my 6 circles, and I'm going to attach my poinsettia embellishments at this point. So if you've decided to make snowflakes or whatever other Christmassy embellishment, you need to attach them as you work on each of these sides. So score and ink, and then add your decoration. So scoring around the square, folding each of the little tabs out of the way, inking the edges of the square, and then adding your embellishment to the centre. And you can see how it fits inside the little square. I'm just turning them to make sure they don't touch any of the fold or score lines. Now once you've scored, folded and decorated each of your 6 sides, you need to just make sure that they're all dry before you begin construction. And you're going to start by attaching two of the sides together using one of those little, or two of those little tabs that we've created. And you really do want to make sure that they match up. So I'm joining side number 3, and make sure that they all line up, that those tabs sit directly one on top of the other. And it's always handy to push them against your craft mat to make sure that those score lines match up. And then finally you're going to join the 4th one to the 1st one to make a cube shape. Then you're going to use all 4 tabs to put a little top on your cube. And you can see how quickly these come together. And it's all a case of being precise. The more time you take to match them up so they match exactly, the nicer they look when they're finished. Before we put that final side into position, you're going to need a loop of ribbon. So I'm going to use this Merry Christmas ribbon, and I'm just going to take a length and tie a knot to form a loop. So you just want a piece of ribbon long enough to hang this bauble on your tree, and I'm just going to trim off the end, and my little knot is what's going to keep it in place. And I'm just going to tuck it into the corner of the bauble before I put that final side into position. So tuck in your ribbon and then match up that final side. And this has got to be one of my quickest ever video tutorials. I just spotted a little bit where I hadn't quite married the sides up, so I just masked it with a little bit of ink to finish my bauble off. And here's one I made earlier. This one hangs on my Christmas tree and has done for a couple of years now. As you can see, they keep quite well, and this one was decorated with a big snowflake that I cut out with a Cuttlebug die. Now you may notice from this picture of my bauble hanging on the tree that I didn't do 2 of the steps that I've included in this tutorial. One of them is the inking of the square on each of the sides. I think it definitely adds more definition, so it's something that I would do in the future. And also keeping your embellishment to the size of that 2-inch square, I think will adds to the impact. I think my snowflakes look a little bit big on my decorations, but you know, I like to pass on this knowledge as I gain it, so I think that keeping the embellishments to the square looks a little bit nicer on the finished bauble. So I hope you agree, and I hope that you've enjoyed this little tutorial. If you have enjoyed my tutorials and like the things that I'm doing here on my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you do subscribe already, thank you very much. I love to have your company, and don't forget to leave me a message or press the like button or share this video with your friends. Finally, a small video of my Christmas tree with the handmade decorations hanging upon it. So that's the long shot. You'll have to excuse, there's no tripod involved in this video, so you may notice that things are a little bit shakier than normal. So I'm going to start at the very top of the tree with my Christmas star that Callum puts on every year now that he's tall enough to reach the top. There's some little glass skates that we bought when we went on holiday to New York one year, and it's fun how your Christmas tree develops into a whole set of memories. And both of these glittery baubles are made by painting PVA glue onto polystyrene balls and then dipping them in glitter. I bought that little glass Santa yesterday when I was out shopping, and the wire decoration was made by me. Some more lovely baubles. I gradually collect my baubles every year, and this little angel is as old as I am, and used to hang on my Christmas tree when I was a child, and my mum recently gave them to me so I can carry on hanging them on this tree. There's another paper bauble that I'll share the link with at the end of this video, because there's a tutorial on my YouTube channel for it, and I'm just looking for those decorations that I've made myself so I can show you a couple of ideas. A lot of these were bought, and where's one of the ones that I've just showed you how to make? Oh, there we go. So a green glittery one, which I also made with some gingham ribbon on top, and then the paper decoration that featured in this video hanging tucked in the branches below. So stay tuned to the end of the video for some more links for Christmas projects and I will take this opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas, and I hope that you have fun using some of my Christmas tutorials to help decorate your Christmas tree this year, and thank you for watching.